Hey everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Andrew Nimsgren, and along with me I have James Graham, and we're both from PoppedOff.com. And today we really just want to talk about the ending of Demon Slayer, the future of the series. I mean, we've both been doing a podcast about the show for a while now, which is kind of spoiler free and about the anime versus the manga. So we really haven't had anywhere to talk about the ending of the manga that just happened a few weeks ago, and we've had a spin-off series announced, and we just really wanted somewhere to talk about it. So this is going to be a very, very, very heavily spoiled episode for everything Demon Slayer manga. So if you're not totally caught up on the ending of the series, do not watch beyond this point, because you will have the ending completely spoiled for you, because that's the only thing we're really talking about for the next 10 minutes or however long. But with that being said, James, the series has been over for about 2 weeks now. Are you sad? Do you feel empty inside? Are you happy with how it ended? Where are you feeling about all of it?
So it's kind of like I know you and I talking about this have had conflicting ideas, but I was really like I don't know, I got all warm and fuzzy with like how they concluded it. It did it for me. Like the final chapter I found was it was something I never get when I finish a series, and I always like wonder. I'm like, okay, like what are they gonna do? Like where do they go from there? Like I mean, the main storyline's done, but like what does that mean for the universe and all that stuff? And like this is like I don't know, this is exactly what I was after, right? I was happy like leading up to the final chapter. I was like happy how they did it. The final fight with Muzan was really good. The I can't wait to see it animated because I know it's going to be gorgeous. But I don't know. I wasn't dissatisfied the entire time. Like I kind of feel empty because it was just like because now it's done. I know we're getting like a spin-off series and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm a little bummed.
Yeah, I mean, the whole final arc from the second they went into Muzan's palace to the very last chapter, I enjoyed the entire ride. I don't want to get that wrong. And the fight against Muzan, basically everyone dying as well in pretty
Yeah.
brutal ways too, against either the final of the 12 Kazuki or Muzan, was just unbelievable. People kept coming back after you thought they were dead. Like, it was nonstop action the entire time. It was absolutely amazing. And then even the little bit of the twist of at the end of Tanjiro starting to turn into kind of the reincarnation of Muzan, if you really want to say that, or just turning into a demon with Muzan inside of him, was
Yeah.
something that I didn't expect, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. I thought for a second they're like, oh no, they're gonna do another like mini arc with Tanjiro as like a demon, and the last 4 or 5 people are gonna have to go fight him down, and Tanjiro might die at the end of the series, and I was
Yeah.
not on board with that. So when they wrapped it up pretty quickly with Kano and Nezuko pretty much coming to his rescue, both in their own ways, I very much really enjoyed how that wrapped up. And then the one thing is, so this is the first manga I've ever read from start to actually to a point where it's finished. I'm caught up with a
Mhm.
lot of other manga, but I never had one end in front of me. And I'm not really used to these kind of time jump chapters where I think it was really cool. We found a lot of really cool reincarnations or descendants, and that made me feel really happy, but it's just something I wasn't used to. So it's just something I had to really process. And I guess, what did you think about the reincarnation chapter? Like, do you feel like that was necessary? Do you feel like you would have rather them stay in the turn time period rather than skip a couple generations? What did you think about that?
I was really happy about it because like uh, where the descendant thing I'm happy it's there, but it wasn't necessary. Or not the descendant, sorry, the reincarnation thing. I was like, okay, cool, I'm getting it. But it was for everybody that was alive that had a direct descendant in that chapter. I was really happy about, right? But we saw like the Stone Hashira was like he was a kindergarten teacher. The Love Hashira and the Snake Hashira like owned a restaurant and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. I was like, okay, that's like it's nice to have in there. But seeing like the direct descendants of Tengen, who's now a gymnast, um, basically the entire main cast are basically all friends because they've grown up for like by the looks of it, I'm assuming the family dynamics have stuck together. I really like that because it showed how close they were, like and that's kind of transcended time. I'm a big fan of that. And I was really happy Yoshiro's still like around, like because Yoshiro really grew on me throughout the final parts, especially after Tameo died. Like he was like he kept helping them, right? So I'm really happy that they kind of like closed everything in nicely, especially with him because he's immortal, right? So yes, you can kind of do whatever you want with like family lines and like in reincarnations and stuff like that. But the thing we know is that demons kind of live forever, and Yashiro like they perfected not feeding on stuff, right? So I'm really happy just to see him having his like little time in the spotlight.
Yeah, and Mitsuri and Obanai being together at the restaurant, that definitely made me the
Yeah.
happiest. When going through all of that, like, there's a couple references I missed. I had to go back and read it a couple times. That's something I picked up on right away, and I was so happy about that out of all of them. And I think those kind of reincarnations are why they did the time jump. Personally, I mean, we missed Nezuko and we missed Nezuko getting married. We missed Tanjiro and Kano getting married. Like, we missed all of
Yeah.
those, and we really don't know who Inosuke married at this point. Like, I realized they did the time jump for the reincarnation so that we get this limelight on everyone, even the people that died, because then they could be
Yeah.
reincarnated or they could have their descendants super far down the line. So you got a moment with everyone from the series, but that also made us miss out on the main core of all their kind of the rest of their lives and not really having that. Like, I would have personally, I would have loved to see like Tanjiro, like, or maybe Inosuke and whoever he married, and being the last marriage of the 3 or 4 core members. And then we see one of them, maybe Tanjiro, already having a kid or something like that. Like, I feel like that would have been just as good for me. And then all of them going and visiting the shrine of all the dead Hashira and something like that. Because for
Okay.
me, I never connected with a lot of the Hashira as much as other people
The main-
did. Yeah.
Right.
For me, it was always a main form. You guys always call me whenever we're doing one of our podcasts. I'm a main character guy. So Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Inosuke, like, all of them were the people that I really care about the most and ones I always connect with the most during mangas or anime. So not getting more limelight on them is, I think, the issue I have with the final chapter, even though we've still got information about them. We got the
Right.
snapshot at the end. So I really enjoyed all of it. I don't want to get it wrong, but I guess just the wrong people got a majority of the limelight in my eyes, even though I know a lot of people really, really, really like that. So that's the one
The
issue.
wrong people got the focus. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, for what I wanted out of this. I know the manga's for everyone, not just me. But that's just the one issue I can have with it, because the build up to the fight with Muzan was absolutely amazing. The Nezuko coming back and trying to pretty much save
Kind of snap. Yeah.
save Tanjiro, and then Kano pretty much risking her eyesight and her life to do it. I thought Kano was dead. I didn't think she was gonna live. That was
I didn't think Kano was coming back either. I thought she
I've
was
been
done for.
all in on them getting married since like the second they interacted for the first time. Like, I love those two, so I thought she was gonna be dead. So that hit me really hard until they showed that she was still all right. So, yeah. So everything going up to it was fantastic. And then when I saw that city landscape, at the final chapter, at the final slide of 204, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna like 205 because that's a big time jump in. And I ended up where I am now. But overall, I do miss the series, and I do want more of it. And I guess that does kind of go into a little bit about the future of the series. The second thing I really want to talk about, and already there has been a Rengoku mini spin-off series announced. So there has been a couple other ones. There's already a 2-chapter one on Giyu, and this is supposed to be a similar one. I don't know if it's going to be only 2 chapters, if it's going to be a little bit longer. But these are spin-off series that are not done by the original creator of Demon Slayer, but instead of Hirano, who has done a couple other ones for this and just other spin-off series in general. And knowing that it's going to be a short spin-off series, first I want to talk about that, but then talking about, do you think we're ever going to have another long series inside the Demon Slayer world? So first, let's dive into Rengoku, and then we'll talk.
Okay, let's go Rengoku first. Yeah. So I'm happy that like Rengoku was like a very very likable character, and like he had his own arc and stuff like that. But I feel like, I don't know. I felt like a character like him, you need something like this. Like Rengoku is very much a character that deserves his own spin-off, who deserves, like, I mean, Giyu's kind of like expected because he's like, he's basically Tanjiro's like mentor, right? But with Rengoku, he was just so like, you just were drawn to the character immediately. So I'm happy that they're doing this. And now that I know they've done a Giyu one as well, I hope they do all of them, because I feel like that's some really good fleshing out, some really good content. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody would complain about seeing more of the Hashira and getting to know them better when you get a good idea of who they are, but you don't get to see them all totally in action, right? So
Yeah.
big fan of the fact they're doing a Rengoku focused manga. I'd like to know how I'm curious what the content's gonna be about. If it's just gonna be him using his powers sick, or if it's gonna be on his family dynamic, because that was a very big focus of the series, right? So seeing that opened up a little more wouldn't be worse. But I mean, Rengoku was a badass the entire time through the train arc. So if I get more of that too, and it's just like basically like fan service of him, popping off, I'll be stoked.
Yeah, I really don't know where it's going to be. I mean, so the movie comes out with the Infinity Train arc, which is obviously his main arc, is
Yeah.
coming out on October 19th. The manga is, this couple of the short spin off series is projected to come out later this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a couple of chapters leading up to it. So I don't know if that's building out a little bit more about the character and the family dynamic, or just kind of understanding how he became a demon slayer, or anything kind of like that. I just want anything more about Rengoku at this point,
Yeah.
especially because based off the original manga and the creator, like Rengoku had the potential to be one of the strongest demon slayers ever. So to see him die the way he did, dying so early on, and how different things would have been, and kind of seeing his power scale and how he pretty much died protecting Tanjiro and all that, that they weren't there, he might not have died. We don't know that, but that's part of the whole part of it, that Tanjiro had that on his soul, that he thinks he's part of the reason that Rengoku died, and more or less he is. Uh,
Yeah.
but just kind of getting more into him, because he was a favorite character of one of both of us, and it's something that I definitely would have loved to see how he would have interacted with the rest of the series. But the family dynamic with him after he died was such an interesting part that I did not expect the manga to really dive into and have that kind of part, because it's a shonen. Like, you just expect action, action, action. You have set of points, but it's not usually like a family dynamic about a side character that you had for like 15 chapters. So
Yeah, well,
having
that's
like
just
10 chapters on his family dynamic just felt weird, but I loved it so much.
Well, and I think a big part of that was because like Rengoku was a character that felt like a main character. He felt like as soon as he was
Yeah.
in there, you're like, this guy's a part of the main roster. Like this guy's like a big deal. And then he dies, and you're like, in like, not only did that, I think that shook the fan base, it shook the it shook the characters, but it also affected the other Hashira. Like that was the other thing I like that showed how essential he was. Maybe not essential, but that's how much influence in it like he had amongst the Hashira, right? So I hate to say it, but he was like the perfect character to die to flush out so many different things, right? Like his death caused like a big old ripple effect, and I'm happy that it was done so well, because usually when you kill off characters like this, it can go so many different ways. But I think the artist just like executed it like perfectly.
Yeah.
So give me more content with him. Like
Yeah.
anything about him, yeah, it's gonna be good.
And then for me, it's really give me anything more in the Demon Slayer universe, but I don't know where it fits in is the only problem. I think in terms of the long term, like, potential of this series, that there isn't much. I think we can get more spin offs like this, but Muzan's dead. There's no more demons.
Yep.
Maybe a short story about cleaning up the last of them, or maybe finding ways for some demons and humans to live together. Could be something. Maybe working with Yushiro to help turn the last of the demons back into whatever breed he is of demon, so that they could live. Could be something. Otherwise, maybe the origin story of Tamio, because we saw she's been with Muzan forever, and how she broke away and started helping people, could be a short story here. But unlike, like with My Hero, they have the main manga, and then they have the vigilantes. Same world, not the same characters. They make appearances in that, but I just don't know if that can work the same in Demon Slayer. I mean, the idea of Demon Slayers and the corpse and all that, you can just go back in time and do that, maybe the previous generation, because this Hashira class was the strongest in over like 3 centuries or something like that. They made some reference to that. Maybe going back to that previous strong class of Hashira and telling a story around them. But I feel like the motivation there is just, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of Hashira killing demons, while with the actual Demon Slayer manga, it was about Tanjiro and Nezuko turning the kindness of Tanjiro against these demons. That I just don't feel like a pure action shonen in the Demon Slayer universe would work as well. We love the series because of the connections and even the twisted personalities of like Shinobu and the fake smile she has and all that. Like, there's all kinds of points like that that really makes the show special. So I worry that's hard to do without the cast, without Tanjiro and Nezuko as the core point of any future series.
Well, and I think it's a big problem. Well, it's not even a problem, because the manga did it well, and the show, everything wraps up, like, in my opinion, really well.
Yes.
But you can't go forward from what they've done. You can't you can't do that. I think you can go backwards. I think if we see like we did get a good portion of basically about the twin brothers with the sun and the moon, moon breathing and stuff like that. If you want to go deeper into them, that'd be cool. If you wanted to go into that other iteration of Ashira, that would be cool. And seeing like maybe even seeing like the foundation of the Demon Slayer Corps and like seeing how the politics behind that worked, what they had to do, how they kind of went about it. Because I'm assuming you'd almost get like a berserk style like like show or manga, right? Because it would be way more gruesome. It would be because I mean it was way more cutthroat back then. We see that in basically how the Hashira think now, with prior to Tanjiro becoming like a main like influence in a lot of them, right? They're all pretty gutless. Like they don't like they're very black and white. It's you're a demon, you're dying or not, right? But like I mean that had to come from like a generational thing. So I'm assuming that the original iteration probably were not the best people, right? And I honestly I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing the Demon Corps like being run by or like being like the top of them being really really badass and not like in much more gray. So
Well, I mean that's Urokodaki and Gramps and all that kind of that. Those are the characters
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be those Hashira.
Well, I mean, like three
That's true.
centuries
Might
would
be a little
here,
far
right?
back.
So, but it wouldn't be bad seeing Zenitsu's grandfather, or like, I mean, grandfather, and Orokodaki. Like, I think Orokodaki would actually be a great character for spinoff.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, he was perceived really well. You like, I mean, he's already old, so he survives. But it would be really cool to see how he became such a like a renowned figure, right? So, I mean, because I mean, they all respected the shit out of it when him and Giyu basically were like, "Yep, we'll commit seppuku
Yeah.
if these two screw up," right? So that it clearly means something. So I would love to see more about him. Like there is stuff there, but yeah, like kind of like I said, you're only going backwards. You can't go forwards with the series anymore. It's done, right?
Yeah. And with that, I think I only want spin-off series. Like I've always been a person of I want more, I want more, I want more whenever I finish a show or manga. This is one where flush out the characters we already know, give them the short chapters like Rengoku here, but do not give me a new story. I don't think a new story can fit here. I mean, if a new one comes out, I'm going to read it, of course. I'm not saying I'm not going to take it in, but it's a show where I would love the characters to be fleshed out, but I'm not begging for a new manga complete spin-off series of another 200 chapters to be done because I'm happy with how this wrapped up. I love the story, and this is one that I don't feel like it needs more as much as I would love more. I'm just happy with where this is, and yeah, give me more characters. But
would you?
Oh, go on.
Yeah, no, like just kind of as a closing thing, would you read a modern day Demon Slayer, because they've done this, they've set it up that it is modern day.
But there are no more demons. The demons.
There's Yoshiro, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I mean, there could be others because they all live forever, but I mean, like, no more demons can be created. So if this is centuries later, like, I don't really think there are many. I mean, maybe if there is some kind of reincarnation of Muzan as well, or maybe, I mean, we don't know how he got the demon power really originally either. So maybe, but I don't know. Again, the reason I love the series so much is because of that core Nezuko Tanjiro story and what they build around them. And even though they are reincarnates or descendants of all the people we love, I don't think it's the same. And like I said, that's the series I don't want. I want more on the going backwards. I don't want anything going forward at this point.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, man. I just wanted to kind of like flesh out that idea, see if it was something that anybody who's watching too, like, I mean, would you read that, like, or would you watch that? Would you watch something that was, they I don't know, they come up with an idea of like how to bring the demons back, like even like going back to our like saying basically more backstory, like give us the backstory on how Muzan became Muzan, right? Like, I mean, then we know how it kind of happened, right? So if we get that and get a modern day, I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I'm content with where we're at now.
Yeah. So yes, let us know down below in the comments what do you guys really enjoyed in terms of your favorite reincarnation, or even what you would want the series to be, whether it's spin-offs like what I want, whether it is a modern day Demon Slayer, whatever it is, let us know down below. And we can always discuss that later too, maybe the possibility, and we can actually flesh out of what a modern day Demon Slayer would look like in one of these videos.
Oh man, that's dangerous, yeah.
But with that, as always, make sure to like, subscribe, all that kind of normal YouTube stuff. We don't do too many YouTube videos, but we want to start creating more and more. But if you also want to hear us talk more about anime, we do 2 weekly anime podcasts. One is a Demon Slayer focused podcast called Demon Slayer Chronicles that comes out every Wednesday. And we do a My Hero Academia podcast as well, which comes out Saturday mornings as well. Right now, we're just diving into the Vigilantes manga and the general topics we just want to talk about, whether it's shipping, movies, all that kind of stuff. But you can find information on all that at poppedoff.com or Twitter/popped_off. You can find it all down in the description below. But thank you so much for watching this. We hope you guys enjoyed Demon Slayer as much as we all did. It was a great run. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you guys next time.